All right, so let's take a sneak peek at tonight's project. This is the Sweet Gingerbread Bundle, and when you open up this card, you have a gift card inside, and there's the gift card. This is an old gift card of mine that Stampin' Up had given me on our Maui incentive trip. So I used the money on it, and then I kept the card for display purposes. So that's our gift card holder. I'm going to show you how to create it tonight. I do have a bit of bad news though. The Sweet Gingerbread Bundle is sold out. The stamp set is gone, as well as the dies. Now, when I created these projects, they were available. And so I feel really bad because if you don't have this set, it would be hard for you to make it, right? So at least you'll get the card design and the card measurements so that you can at least create that part with us, because this is a great gift card holder. I use this one all the time. All right, so that's our card. It can fit inside an envelope, and that's nice too, because when you do have a gift card, you want to be sure that it doesn't get lost. So if you put it in an envelope with the person's name, you have a less chance of losing the gift card. All right, and then our next little project is going to be this little house right here, and it has antibacterial soap in it. And this is last year's antibacterial soap, not this year, so the labels may be different, colors may be different, but this is last year's. So this is a little antibacteria, just a little holder for the soap, all right? Now, when I made this, it reminded me of the Grinch's house, and I think it's because of the granny apple green color. So anyway, I kind of thought it looked like the Grinch's house, so that's what we'll call it. But you can still make these holders, okay, for soap and stuff, even if you don't have this particular die, okay? So that's tonight's projects. I am excited to share those with you. We are going to use the Stamparatus, and I have some tips for you, all right? Many of you know that I had the privilege of presenting in Jacksonville, Florida, and this was my suite. So I just feel this is like my baby, all right? Because this is the suite that I featured, and it was the first one in the catalog. So it's an important suite because that's the first thing you see when you open up that new catalog. And so I've created a calendar, and I've created a calendar kit for you, all right? So let me show you what it looks like in person. This is the calendar. This is one side of the calendar. In your kit, you're going to get designer paper, both designer paper packs. I'll tell you about that in a second. Here, we've done some stamping here. You will want to order that stamp set when it becomes available on January 5th. It's called the Country Bouquet Bundle. It has a stamp set and punch, all right? On the other side, we have the calendar, all right? Oh, good, Joanne. So here's the calendar, and there'll be one calendar in that kit for you, all right? So let's look at the kit. This is the actual kit that you will receive from me, and it has a quarter package of Country Floral Lane designer paper. So let's look at that. You're going to find a divider that tells you all about the paper, all of the coordinating colors, the page number, if you purchase a full package. So that's the divider. This is the paper right here. It is so, so beautiful. Also, I'm going to be giving you some alternative calendar ideas, okay? Because I've made a few other calendars, and you'll be able to use the other paper to make the calendar with. Now, after this paper, you're going to get another one, and this one is also a quarter package, and it's called the Country Gingham. And so these are the papers here. And you'll use all of these papers. Well, not all of them. You're going to use both sets of paper, both packages of paper with your calendar. All right? All right, so that's the Country Gingham and the Country Floral. So you get those. Then you're going to get your calendar base and your calendar stand. Everything is pre-cut and pre-scored. You're going to get all the material needed to create your calendar. And by the way, here are the embellishments. You get a quarter package of the embellishments, and you get a quarter package of the ribbon. And it'll be packaged like this. So this is 45 inches of each ribbon. And so it is going to come in a package that I will pre-package all of these materials for you. Let's see if I can get it back in here. How about that? All right, let's try this again. All right, there we go. And this is the little checklist for me so that I don't forget anything. So, and hopefully I won't, although the first 8 that I shipped out, I did forget one little piece. Didn't even think about it until I drove off from the post office. So I just think it's that time of year right now. There is so much going on, and to launch all these things before the catalog is live is pretty crazy. It's just busy, all right? So, and of course, if anything is ever missing from your kit, just email me and I will ship it your way, all right? And no additional cost to you. I want to show you where you can pick up your calendar, all right? Because I've got a few people on here watching who don't have a calendar yet, all right? Who have not placed that order. So I'm over here on my Facebook page, and I'm going to go over to becreativestamping.com, all right? And this is my blog page. By the way, sign up for my mailing list, okay? So you'll know when the sales are coming up and all that good stuff. We're going to scroll down, and it's the December 4th post, all right? So you write down December 4th. This tells you all about the calendar. Here's the video showing you how to create the calendar. And here's all the materials included. The calendar is $15. Online shipping is $5. And if you're interested, you want to click here. All right, so we click there. And again, here's all the goodies about the calendar. And look, local customers, if you're picking up, you need to click here. If you are online, please click here so that that $5 shipping charge is added, okay? Okay. All right, so next announcement are about the product shares. Now, many of my ladies watching purchased these shares, and I'm going to tell you all about these shares now. And if anyone here is watching who has purchased a share, please, if you would like to leave a comment, let others know about the shares. Because I do realize if you're shopping with me for the very first time, you may not know what to expect, all right? So I just want to put your mind at ease. All right, so this is the paper share. There are probably, I'm going to go back and look, 78 sheets of designer paper. This is not all of it either. Each designer paper pack has its very own divider, okay, with all the reordering information. So again, that's not all of it. If I were to pick it all up, here's the rest of it. So that's how thick it is. By the way, it comes in a beautiful white box, and it has a label on it. And the label, I tell you what the label's going to look like. That's going to be the label on top of your paper share box. All right, it's already been designed for you. All right, so just some really beautiful paper. Everyone has commented who has seen it in person how beautiful this stuff is. They've just really outdone themselves. It also includes the specialty papers and the vellum. These are all the papers in the 2023 mini, okay? All right, so that's paper. We have 15 yards of ribbon right here. So this is the ribbon for the 2023 book catalog. And you've got the name of the ribbon, you've got the item number in case you need to reorder. And it's 15 yards for $20, all right? This is the Pale Papaya Faux Velvet. It's thicker, and so I like to have more room to wrap this particular ribbon. It needs more space. All right. Oh, thank you, ladies. Thanks, Margaret. Thanks, Diane. Okay, last part are the embellishments. Now, I think I'm going to put these embellishments in another acetate box. I don't know. I was trying out this bag to see if I liked it. I don't think I like it. I want something a little bit nicer. But you're going to get about a half a package of each embellishment. I think they're probably 700 pieces that you receive. And the embellishment share is $46, but it has 700 pieces. And you get a nice assortment of everything. And of course, the camera is not going to do this justice. You are going to see the embellishment name and item number. That's important in case you want to reorder. Flat pearls. So you can see more pastel dots, some studs, dragonfly trinkets, which are pretty daggone cute, and then some more embellishments. So there is quite a bit here. The nice thing is you can buy one share, you can buy 2 shares, or you can buy all 3 shares, all right? If you buy all 3 shares, I throw in a free gift inside your box, okay? So let's look to see where we can find this. It's right here, ladies. If you head over to my blog, it's December 7th. Write that date down, okay? December 7th, all the details right here. It tells you the advantages of having a product share. It tells you how many pieces, okay, and prices. And the last day to order is going to be Wednesday, June 11th. You can reserve your product share now. You don't pay for it now. You won't pay for it until the week of January 5th. And so if you click here, right here, okay, see that word here? Click here, and it takes you to a Google Doc, and you're actually going to fill this out, all right? And so right here at the bottom, it tells you all about the share. Click next, and then you can check which box of which share you want. And if you want all 3, just check all 3. And that's all you have to do for now. You'll get an invoice early January for payment. So first and last name is important. Email address is important. Do you want to pay via PayPal or credit card? That helps me as far as where to send that invoice. And so please, and also sign up for my newsletter, all right? And then once you filled it out, just hit submit. That's all you have to do is hit the word submit. All right. So this is what we're making. I'm gonna zoom in here so you can see it. All right. And I'm gonna move my laptop. All right. So I'm really interested in knowing how many of you have the Sweet Gingerbread Bundle. Thank you everyone for the nice wishes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna miss you all. I will not be here next Wednesday night, okay? And I'll be back. My next Facebook Live will be January 11th, and I will remind you on my Facebook page, all right? All right, so this is the Sweet Gingerbread Bundle, and it's in our mini, the 2022 mini, the July through December. And so, oh good, I'm glad you have it, Leslie. I'm glad somebody does. I feel really bad because I created these projects for my local ladies and then the dies sold out. They were 40% off. I should have known they would be gone in no time. Then the stamp set sold out. We couldn't even order that last night. I don't even know when it sold out. It was available last Friday. So I feel bad because a lot of you will not get the opportunity to have this set, but you might find it on eBay. Who knows, right? So anyway, this is the Sweet Gingerbread. There is a die that cuts out this roof. There are dies that cut out the gumdrops. There's a die for cutting out, I think there's a die for cutting out the windows. I need to look. Yeah, there is. So there's a die for cutting out the windows, the wreath. This piece right here, which is great because these words will fit right in here. A die for the lollipops, the heart, the tree, and the door, and a die for the house. And here's some ornamental stuff that you can put on your gingerbread as well. It's a photopolymer set. And so sometimes when you have a large photopolymer stamp, it can be hard to get the ink even. And so I decided to use the Stamparatus to help me stamp this large house, all right? Thank you everyone for the well wishes. They are so appreciated. I will miss all of you. It will not be the same not being here on Wednesday night. All right, so what I've done is I have brought in my Stamparatus and I've already put the house on it. Now, this is a photopolymer set and it doesn't have a lot of cushioning. And so this cushion right here, this foam mat, we just put right in there. And here's some grid paper so I don't get ink on my foam mat. So if you have the Stamparatus, you might want the grid paper, all right? It's pretty awesome. Okay, so we are going to stamp with craft cardstock, all right? I have really enjoyed using this craft cardstock. It's available 6 inches by 6 inches and it's in the annual catalog. And I've just had so much fun stamping on it and playing around with it and crafting with it that I'm gonna use it for the gingerbread house. I'm gonna pull off one of my magnets. Now, it really doesn't matter where I put the stamp. I just want it to be on this paper. And that'll work. So I'll just put a magnet there so that I can stamp, okay? Now, I know Leslie has the Sweet Gingerbread. So tell me, Leslie, how did you stamp your gingerbread house? I would be interested in knowing. Now, because I'm using craft paper, I found that soft suede ink was really, really dark, a little too dark for me. And so I decided to use the crumb cake ink, all right? Now let's look at the original. It's right here. The crumb cake here was very dark. And I think it's because crumb cake ink, hi Jacqueline, it is my Stamparatus. My daughter's watching, how awesome. So I used the crumb cake ink and because I stamped it on craft cardstock, I think it absorbs the ink differently. All right, different, different than basic white cardstock. All right, so I hope that makes sense. I think with the craft cardstock, it absorbs ink differently than our white cardstock. That's what I was trying to say. All right. So anyway, so Jacqueline just joined us, and so Jacqueline, it's a gift card holder. Check that out. Check that out. You just might get one. Who knows? All right, so now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink the house. Now, I've already used this ink pad over the last few days about 28 times, all right? So it could be that my ink is getting lighter. All right, so let's just look and let's see how crumb cake looks. And you may decide to stamp your house on the basic white cardstock, which is fine. So now it's pretty light. If you look at the two houses, they were both used with crumb cake ink. So let's put a little more ink on this. And if I don't get it any darker, then I could move on to soft suede. All right, so let's see what this does. We'll add a little more ink and see what that does. Oh, I'm liking that much better. So this is the reason I'm using the Stamparatus. I can go back and I can add more ink to this house and get it just right. All right. I'm also pressing this, and I'm pressing it on a folding table, all right? I'm not on a wood table, and so that could be affecting it as well. But I'm pretty happy with that. We're gonna stamp another house because we're gonna need it for the next project. So since I'm here, let's go ahead and we're gonna stamp another gingerbread house. And let's see if that's gonna cover that. It will. Now, you know what I'm gonna do? Let's try soft suede ink to see if we get it a little darker, all right? So soft suede. All right, so this is soft suede, going a shade darker. So a lot of times when I create a project, I will try different shades of the same color and different cardstocks until I figure out what it is that I like. By the way, the craft cardstock is a 3" by 3" piece. All right, so we have a darker house here. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna add a little more ink. All right. And really get up there in that roof line. All right, so that one is really dark. So honestly, I think I like the crumb cake better. So what I'm gonna do is, I actually wanna stamp another one. So let me grab some more craft cardstock. Okay, that's just a little too dark for me. It's not what I'm really looking for, but you know what? We tried it, right? At least we tried it. So Jacqueline could use a gift card, she says. All right, now let me get my stamp cleaner. Excuse my reach. And let's just clean this off. I cut my chamois. I'm sorry, this one really, it's clean. I promise you, I cleaned it recently. It's just gotten really stained. But with the chamois, I will cut a chamois into smaller pieces so I can use it with the Stamparatus. It's not as cumbersome. This big thing is really cumbersome to wash one little stamp, okay? And so that's what I'll do. So just kind of cut that. All right, well, let's do another crumb cake, okay? What do you all think? Crumb cake or soft suede? What are your thoughts? I'm moving back now to the crumb cake. And again, stamping this. I could also add a little more crumb cake ink to this. Oh, wow. You know what? Maybe my stamp might have been too wet. I don't know. All right, we're getting there. We are getting there. All right, so yeah, I do need to add a little more crumb cake ink to this pad. All right, let's see if we have enough ink yet. We are getting there. It is coming to life. So Rosemary likes the crumb cake. I'm with you, Rosemary. I didn't want a super dark gingerbread house. All right. We are almost there. Of course, we've got our little white roof that'll go on the top. So now the gift card holder that I'm going to show you tonight actually looks like there's something on that stamp. What is that? It was nothing. I thought it was a little piece of lint. The gift card holder we're making, I've made many times, and I think you're gonna really like this if you don't have this particular one, because they're quick. All right, now I'm happy. I think that will work. All right, so that was crumb cake on craft cardstock. All right, and we need 2 houses for our project. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is, I better clean this plate. Tomorrow, I will wash it really well. But I'm just gonna wipe the ink off. Okay. So I'm gonna take the house plate off. And now, I'm going to bring in a second plate. And we are going to be stamping this right here, the outline of the windows and the door. All right, so that's what we're stamping next. We're going to add the house anywhere on the Stamparatus that you want. And then we're going to line this up. Now, this will be a little harder for me. My head may get in the view of the camera because I kind of need to see over top of it. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool just to move the stamp gradually. Actually, I think that's going to work. I find, I moved it. I find with the photopolymer stamps, I think that's perfect. I find that it likes to stick to my nails. And so then I keep picking it up. All right, so we've got the outline for the windows and doors, and we're gonna use early espresso. So it's really gonna show up, okay? Honestly, this kind of looks like a popsicle, doesn't it? All right, so now I'm gonna stamp. And here's my outline. Now this, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but right here, it didn't turn out so well. So let's ink it again. Make sure that I push right there because that's where it did not turn out. And now I have my outline. So we're gonna do the other gingerbread house as well. Okay. And again, this is where I will have to move this outline. Let's see if I can move it that way so you can see what I'm doing. I'm cleaning this off because I'm gonna have to pick up this stamp. And then, gotta turn it the right way. All right, I think that will work. Whoops, I am very sorry. You cannot see that at all. All right, so now I'm just tweaking that to make sure I have the outline in the correct place. And then I'm going to take the Stamparatus, close that up, and I am going to ink this in early espresso. All right, and so I'll hold this up to the camera so that you can see that better. All right, so now we have the outline. And again, I will clean that well tomorrow. We're done with the Stamparatus, okay? So that's what I wanted to show you with that. It works really, really well on this stamp set. Now, the next thing we're going to add are some lights in the windows. And so the lights, we're going to use crushed curry. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining tonight. Let's see. Now, I've got to find my stamp set with my lights on it. I thought I had it right here. Oh, no. All right, I don't know what I've done with the stamp. It was, oh, here it is, right here. Okay. So this right here will line up with the 2 windows. So we're going to use crushed curry. And you want to look straight into that block. And there's your crushed curry right there. And remember, we have that other house that we're working on. We're going to cut it out in a few minutes. All right. Okay, so there it is again. By the way, I am giving this away tonight, so be sure to comment tonight because this is getting mailed out to someone. All right. So the next thing we're going to need is, I'm looking for some white paper. Here it is, right here. We're going to need a pink door. So we're going to use polished pink. And let's see, here it is. Then we're going to stamp a pink door. All right, that did pretty well. I'm going to see if I can stamp over it again. I need to re-ink this pad as well. But I'm going to see if I can re-ink. Yes, I nailed it. Got it right the first time. That doesn't happen very often. Hi, Diane. I bet you do recognize this little house. So I have two projects tonight, Diane. So one of them you have not seen, okay? I think we are ready to use our machine, and let's get our pieces cut out. Let's go ahead and get the dies out. We're going to need, we do need a roof. All right, and we're going to cut out the door. You know what, Rosemary? I'm gonna have to be the bearer of bad news. This bundle is sold out. It is gone. I am so sorry. The dies were 40% off on December 1 and they sold completely out. So I am very sorry. Sherry, we're happy to have you here for the first time. Thanks for joining us. All right, so let's go ahead and get the machine. Our Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. I'm gonna zoom out so that you can see the platform. I'm gonna grab a sip of water here. All right, I'm gonna open this up. We are adding platform 1 and 2 and platform 3. There's 3. So we need all of those. We are going to cut out this one house. And I'll see if I can do that without using any tape or anything. And we'll just cut this one, and then in a few minutes, we'll cut the other gingerbread and the roof and the door, okay? Oh wow, this thing is smooth. I know the camera's shaking, but the machine is very smooth. So there's my gingerbread house. And we're gonna cut another one right here. All right, and then we're gonna also cut the door. So see if I can do this without needing a Post-it note or anything. And then there's my roof line, but I need to move that a little bit. I think that will take care of it. So we'll put this on top and we'll roll it through. And we have our 3 pieces, and then we can start decorating, okay? I know, Rosemary, I'm so sorry. I really am. I hate to demonstrate something that you're not able to get, so my apologies. All right, this will be fine. I can either trim it or use it, so I'm not worried about that. It's a little off alignment, but not a big deal. I've got my house. That looks great. And then I've got my roof line. All right. And we're going to move this out of the way now. Okay. I want to put these pieces away before I lose them, okay? So give me 1 second. I've already cut out some of the pieces, So we didn't have to cut them all now, but very simple, straightforward stamp set. Okay, so let's talk about our card, okay? Hello, Louise, how are you doing? I want to show you how I cut this. I want to grab another sheet of paper and my trimmer. All right, sorry about that. Okay, I want you to be able, you can get 2 gift cards out of this one sheet, this one 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of cardstock. And I don't want to use this piece because it's got a different score line on it. Okay, I think I'm ready now. All right. Here we go. Okay, so standard sheet of cardstock, and we're going to do some scoring. First, we're going to score at 5.5 inches. All right, so that's your first score line. All right, now the second score line is 2 3/4. All right, so it's right before 3 inches. And we're gonna score right there, okay? And then we're gonna rotate our cardstock, and we're going to cut at 4 1/4 inches, just like we're making a card. And what happens is, I actually get 2 gift card holders, just like that. All right, so even if you don't have the Sweet Gingerbread Bundle, okay, you will know how to create one of these gift card holders, and you can use another set. You just have to change the image on the circle, okay? All right, so we only need 1 of these. And so now I'm gonna fold in half, and I definitely wanna use my bone folder for this. Okay, and then remember that score line, that second one we did, it's right here, and we want to fold that score line. And I believe, if I am not mistaken, I think this fold may be called the Z fold. Okay, I might be wrong too, but I think this particular fold is called the Z fold. Z as in zoo, okay? All right, so what we want to do is we want the card to look like this, okay? Just like that. See? All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I made a template, but you know what? I want to show you how I made the template, okay? So I'm going to use a Post-it note. And I am going to use a 1-inch circle punch. Now, I know that we don't sell a 1-inch circle punch anymore. And so you can use one of your smaller dies, okay? And what you're gonna do is, this is the sticky side of the Post-it. I'm gonna punch out a circle. It does not have to be perfect. I just need to make sure it has sticky on it, okay? Then, here I am. Remember, this is that 2 3/4 inch score line. This is the 5.5 inch score line. What I like to do is take that circle and put, hopefully it's in the middle, I'm going to measure. Again, it's a 1-inch circle. I am on my 1.5 inch line. I'm going to zoom in for you to see. That is 1.5 inches to that circle. So let's go over here and look. This is 1 3/4 inches. So this is way off, right? So we're going to move the circle. See if that's any better. Now I'm at 1 5/8 of an inch. I'm going to come over here, and I'm 1 5/8 of an inch. I did it. So this is the center, okay? So then I'm going to take that punch again, and I'm going to punch a hole. All right, this is Post-it note, so all I do is remove that, and now I have the center, okay? Now the designer paper that we're using is in the back of the mini catalog, all right? It's a hostess only paper. It's the very last page, and the designer paper is at the very top, and I think we used it last week as well. So now I'm just going to center this. Oh, I should measure this paper for you, so give me a second and we'll measure the paper. What happened to my ruler? Oh, here it is. Okay, so there we are. Now look, now I've covered up that hole, right? Okay, so guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna punch that paper out. Okay, just like that. It is much easier to punch the cardstock by itself and much easier to do the designer paper by itself. When you punch both out at the same time, it gets really thick and it can be harder to punch out, okay? You can also use a die. You would just lay your die right here. All right, so while we're here, I was gonna measure the designer paper for you. Your designer paper is 2.5 inches by 4 inches, okay? And now we're gonna use some tear and tape, and we're going to line it up as close to this edge as possible. All right, and then we're going to line this up as much as possible. Okay, and then we can go ahead and we can close this. So we're just going to remove the tear and tape, and we'll have this little part of the gift holder done. Okay, I'm going to use my bone folder again to flatten this out some more. All right, isn't the paper marvelous? It's awesome. Do you all know where the paper is? I can't even remember the name of the paper. Here's another piece. We used this piece last week on a candy bar holder. So we're gonna add, again, same measurements as the other one. I'll measure it again. I know it's 4 inches. It is 2.5 inches by 4 inches. All right, 2.5 by 4 inches. And we're just gonna center it. Okay. All right. And we're gonna put some basic white cardstock inside. We will do that last, okay? Now, the next thing that we want are our circles, and I use the Layering Circles dies. Yes, thank you, Leslie. It's Celebrate Everything. Yep. By the way, tomorrow's free shipping. If you are placing a $150 order tomorrow, you can be your own hostess and you can select this designer paper, okay, as your freebie. There'll be a little bit of hostage overage, but it's not bad at all. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. All right. There we go. I'm going to use just 2 dimensionals here. I'm trying to finish off this sheet. This is Pool Party, by the way, and this is Granny Apple Green. All right, and I'll measure these circles for you to give you an idea of the dies. The Pool Party is from Stylish Shapes, And this is measuring about 2.5 inches when it's cut, okay? And then your layering circles in Granny Apple Green, it's a scallop circle and it's about 3 inches diameter, okay? Now we're gonna add this to the card, and we only want to put adhesive on one side of this circle. And this side is going to go on this designer paper, okay? And you'll just center that. Now the reason we only have adhesive here is because look, you don't want to open this up and this be all sticky, okay? And it'll stick to the inside. So it's really, really important that you only put that adhesive on one side. Okay, now we can add our house. So let's do that. This is the fun part. Of course, we're going to pop it up. Now, when I created this gift card holder, I was pretty happy with it. And so I used lots of dimensionals. Let's finish this up here. There we go. Oh, I guess I'll use another piece. Why not, right? All right, and then we're going to peel this off. Let me zoom out a little bit so you all can see everything that's going on. All right. Whoops, excuse me. All right, so now we're just going to put our little house right here, okay? And then we're going to add the roof. Now, you can pop your roof up or you can use some glue. I'm going to actually add that glue right along the roof. Okay? So that's where my glue is. You can also add it to the back of the roof. And then you're just going to put it here until it meets and matches. Okay, and so there's your roof. Let's add our polished pink door, and we'll add that with dimensionals. You all are so quiet tonight. You must be ferociously taking notes, right? Is that what's going on? You're so engrossed in what we're doing, right? Is that what it is? But anyway, you're pretty quiet. All right, so now we're going to add a heart. There is a heart die in this bundle, and that's actually what I'm using. And I'm going to try and open up this bag, and we're going to get one out in Pool Party. I wanted to pull out the Pool Party in this designer paper. That was my intent. All right. And did I mention that somebody is going to win this tonight? Somebody's taking it home, and it's not me. All right. So let's add some pearls, and then we're going to add the trees in the inside. Hang on one second. I keep getting a chiming. Okay. Had to get rid of the noise. All right. So I'm going to use, what are these called? Iridescent pearls. And I'm going to use the smallest pearl for the doorknob. Whoops. Okay. That's not a very good doorknob. I think that one will work. So this is our doorknob. Okay. I can zoom in now on these little details. And then I'm going to add another small pearl, and I'll just put it on the heart. And then a larger pearl right there. Okay. And another small one just because. Just because. All right. Let's go ahead and add our trees, and then we'll fix the inside, okay? All right. The color combination I took from the paper, and I just love it. It wasn't my idea. I just looked at the designer paper and wanted to pull out those colors. All right, so with the shaded spruce, isn't this tree adorable? The trees are precious and they're also part of this set, all right? I know, Peggy, isn't it cute? I'm so sorry it's not available. I'm really disappointed. Really am. It was a good one. I think it was a sleeper until we got, to the end of the catalog. I'm going to add a glue dot to the back of that tree. And then I'm going to I'll put it about right there, okay? I'm going to add another tree, and something I haven't done, I just might pop it up. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to use a really tiny dimensional. Hi, Donna. Thank you. Yeah, the gift card holders are awesome. They're easy. They're very easy. And you get 2 gift card holders out of 1 sheet of cardstock. So you can't beat it. Oh, the snowman would be adorable. The penguin would be adorable. Any of our little creatures would be cute with it. A little deer would be adorable. A bell. And so look through your stash. Maybe there's a gingerbread house that we had last year or the year before. So look through your stash and see what you might have. Anything can go on this circle. So think outside the box. Now before I tape this, I want to be sure that my verse is going to be hidden by this circle. So the words are, "Have a Sweet Christmas." And I'm going to lay that in there. And I pretty much know if I put my words about right here, I'm going to be good. And it's not going to show, all right, from the outside. Oh, the Scotty dog would be perfect. Didn't even think about that. Absolutely. All right, I'm going to ink this in polished pink. I really need to re-ink my polished pink, so I'm not sure how well this will turn out. But we're going to put it here. I'll press really hard. And there we go. Have a sweet Christmas. All right, so someone's going to take this home tonight. I believe I mentioned that before. We need to tape this inside, don't we? Let's do that. Here we go. All right. And I'm at the end. I'm at the end. Hang on 1 minute. And I've got some adhesive right here. So hang tight and we'll put this one in. All right. And this just gets centered. By the way, this sheet of cardstock is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. All right, 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. Okay. Hi, Simone. How are you doing? All right. So there's our gift card holder. It's going home with somebody. I don't know who yet, but it's going home with someone. All right. So if you're new tonight, be sure to comment, okay, so that your name can be in the drawing. I am actually going to take the Wink of Stella and I'm going to put some glitter on the roof. If any of you have the puff paint that we sold, I know that is the incorrect title of that product, but you can make your roof a little puffy if you want, okay, just with your heat tool and that stuff, all right? I don't have my book over here, so. All right, so I'm gonna add some Wink of Stella to our sweet little polished pink door. All right, you can actually put it anywhere you want. You could do the entire house if you want. You can also do these trees. So I'll do these real quick. All right, squeeze this a little bit more. All right, I'm just doing this really fast. When you all do it, you can certainly take your time. Yes, the snowy, that velvet paper would be perfect. Gail says it's too cute to give away. Gail has one of these. Gail has one of these. All right. She made one the other day in class. All right. So the Wink of Stella can be a little hard to see, but anyway, we've glistened it up a bit. All right. So Simone wants the card. Very good. I know. Deborah, do you have the gingerbread set? All right. We got one more thing we're going to make, okay? And I'm going to give that one away too. All right. And it's this little house right here. All right. And like I said earlier when I came on, this reminds me of the Grinch's house, and I think it's because of the Granny Apple Green heart and trees. And then I've got my little soap in here. All right. And it says, oh snap, this is last year's container, so I don't know if they still sell the same one. Okay. All right, I know it does look like the Grinch's house, so I'm going to show you how to make that. Now, the first one I made tonight didn't turn out so good, so I hope I teach you correctly how to do it. All righty, well, let's get started on it. Where are my materials? We are going to start with a sheet of craft cardstock. Again, I'm back to the craft. I am back. I love it. I've had a lot of fun with that this fall. Okay, I'm gonna get my notes here, my cheat sheet. All right, yes, your granddaughter would love it, Donna. And you would too, right, Donna? You would like it too. Okay, so our measurements to make the holder is 6 inches. All right, hi Carol, welcome. I'm glad you're home safely, Carol. All right, so Carol, you're just in time for the second project, all right? And the second project is an antibacterial soap holder. You're gonna start with a 6-inch by 6-inch sheet of craft cardstock. If you don't have craft, use crumb cake, use soft suede, or even early espresso. If you have any cinnamon cider from last year, use that color, okay? All right, so 6 inches by 3 5/8. So I'll zoom in so you can really see the 3 5/8, okay? So let's see, let me use this. This is 3 1/2, and this right here is 3 5/8, okay? Right there, that line. So 3 5/8. And I'm going to cut that, okay? Now, while I'm on this side, I'm going to also score, okay? I am going to score it at 7/8 of an inch. Are you ready for this one? All right, 7/8 of an inch. So here's 1 inch. You're gonna score right here at this line, okay? Right here, this line right here. And we're going to put it on 7/8. Okay, see that? That's 7/8, and that's where you want to score. Okay? So now I have my first score line. And it's probably really hard for you to see, but there it is. By the way, they are making a new, they do have another gingerbread hand sanitizer this year. I think it's a different color scheme, but they do have it, Rosemary. So I got you in trouble, right? All right, so now we're on the 3 5/8 inch side, okay? We're gonna turn and we're gonna go to the 6-inch side. Are you ready for the measurements to write them down? You are going to score again at 7/8 of an inch, okay? 7/8 score. And by the way, you could put Scotty on front of this, or a snowman, or a deer, or a penguin. So we have so many images that you can use, okay? All right, so 7/8 is done. Okay, you're really gonna hate me with this one, all right? This is an ugly measurement. All right, that's 2 1/2, right? Which is that's 8/16 right there. Here's 2.5. I want you to move over one line, and that's 2 9/16. And that is where you're going to score, okay? There's 2 3/4, and there's this line right here. That's the one that you're gonna score on, all right? Bath and Body, Diane, Bath and Body. And I think you get like 5 for $8, something like that. That's where you're gonna get those, okay? All right, now let's head on over to 3.5 inches. We're back to normal measurements now. And then 5 1/4 inches. All right, so now I'm at 5 1/4, okay? So we have 7/8 of an inch, 2 9/16, 3.5, and 5 1/4. Okay? All right. No, not there. It's, hang on a minute. It is, they're the pocket back soaps, and it's Bath and Body. All right, Bath and Body. Okay, so now we're done with that. Now we're gonna do one more thing. Maybe I'll do this cutting first. Let's go ahead. We're gonna cut on this score line right up to there, okay? We're gonna cut again and again. And over here, we're actually going to take this one out, okay? So that's what you're gonna do. You're going to cut right up to that first score line, okay? And this is along the 6-inch side. All right, now it gets a little tricky, okay? So what we're gonna do is, let's see here, I am going to measure 1 inch. So let me show you that. All right, and I'm gonna use a pencil, okay? And I am over here on the left side, all right? No problem, Rosemary. No worries. All right, so 1 inch, I'm gonna make a tick mark right there on that score line, okay? I came down 1 inch. I'm gonna go over to this score line, and I'm gonna come down 1 inch, okay? Now, what we wanna do is, we are going to cut, this is by no means straight, okay? But I'm showing you where I'm going to cut. I'm gonna cut across here, and then, right, this one's hard to see. Then we're gonna cut back up here. All right, from this point, okay? So those are the cuts that we need to make. We can do it freehand, or we can do it with the trimmer. And I'm gonna do it with the trimmer, okay? At least part of it. So everybody have that? First score line, you measure down 1 inch and make a tick mark. This score line here, measure down to 1 inch. And then we're gonna be cutting at a diagonal, okay? All right, so here we go. Let's see. I am going to take that point there and that point, and what I am basically doing is, I can't get my pin in there, but I'm making that cut. So let me get this trimmer back up here. All right, I can't get my pencil in here to show you, but I think, no, you probably can't even see that pencil mark. That pencil mark is right there. I'm just following that pencil mark. I'm sorry, but it's very difficult to see. So see what I did? I just took the trimmer and I cut that, okay? And I didn't want to cut too far, so I can now just make a little snip, okay? Then I'm gonna go over here with the cutter and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm so sorry you can't see these pencil lines. It would be so nice if you could. Here's my second cut, and I'll put it about right there. And I'm going to cut that out. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to cut here. All right. Now I still need to cut this. All right. Is everybody with me? All right. So we've cut that and we've cut that. We're going to erase the pencil marks, so don't worry about pencil marks. And now I'm going to put this along the cutter. Okay. It's nice because you can really see through our trimmer through the guide, so it makes it really easy. All right, and I think I could trim that a little more, so hang on. Yeah, I was going to do it freehand, but I think I'm going to have to do it freehand. I want it a little bit more. Now this, even if I cut crooked, it's going to be okay because the house is going to cover it. All right, so nothing to worry about. Okay? All right. Let's erase the pencil lines. I'm sure that's bothering y'all. It's bothering me too. We want to get rid of those, right? All right. By the way, the house is going to go here once we get it together. Okay? All right. I think we got it. All right. I know the trimmer is really nice and you can see through it. I know it's hard for you to see on camera, but it's not too bad otherwise. All right, we're going to be putting our house together, and what I was doing was I was forming or folding the score lines, okay? And I want to put, see if I want to do it this way or this way. All right, so what I want to do is over here is where I'm going to put tear and tape, okay? And you'll see why in a minute. All right, are y'all still with me or have I lost you? It's gotten quiet again. All right. And now I'm going to peel this off right here. And I'm going to bring these two sides together. Okay. See that? I brought those two sides together. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. All right. So I still have this, don't I? Remember, I cut that, right? So I want to get rid of that. And so I'm going to trim it off. All right. So if you re-watch this, you can stop the video till you get to that point. All right. So if you don't get it this time, just re-watch the replay. It's right here on the Facebook page. I will provide measurements in a few days. This is where I'm going to close my box. So let's talk about closing the bottom. All right. Little flaps go in first, then this flap, and then this one. So let's go ahead. And I only really need tear and tape on one edge. So I'm going to put it on this one. Okay, see that? I just put it on one edge. That's it. Jean's amazed. Okay, Jean. I'm glad. All right, and then we're going to close it. Okay. All right, see, and the bottom's not perfect, but it's okay, right? It's just a box. All right. So there's the front of our box. And now we're ready to add our little house, okay? And remember how the die cut it and didn't trim this? You can trim that by hand or you can leave it. And I'm gonna leave it because I think it looks absolutely fine. I think it does, or should I trim it? I think it's really fine the way it is. All right, I'll trim it a little. How about that? We'll compromise and I'll trim it just a tad. All right, so I'm just gonna put this right here on the guide and trim. And it's all trimmed. All right. So let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's use tear and tape on this. You could probably glue it as well. We need to put the tear and tape like this, all right? And it's going in this direction for a reason, okay? All right. There we go. So that's the front of the box, and that's where you put your tear and tape. And then we're gonna lift that off. All right. And then we're just gonna add this. Just add it to the box. All right. This is going home with someone tonight, so be sure to comment, okay? Oh, good, Donna. I'm so happy you're gonna try this. It makes me really happy. Thank you. All right, I can probably zoom out a little. And again, when you rewatch the video, you can stop it, you know, until you get to that step. That's what I do, you know, when I'm learning something new as well. All right, so let's do the roof line again. Okay. You could do glue dots, you could do dimensionals. Hi, Lynn, welcome. All right, now I'm ready to add the roof line. All right. There we go. We have the roof line. Now we're gonna add a door. But I did something different with the door. I actually just cut out a small piece of the real red cardstock. And this, I used the door die that goes with it, okay? I want to finish up these dimensionals, so I'll put that there. You could also stamp the door. We did that in the first project. All right, let's see. Of course, I want to get that on just right. Now, we need a door handle, right? So we know it's a door. So there's our door handle right there. There's the doorknob. All right, what's next? Let's do the Granny Apple Green Heart. So it'll look just like the Grinch's house, right? This is what I have left on this strip, y'all. I'm gonna get rid of it. All right. And I like to kind of turn the heart a little bit because it makes it kind of whimsical. And then I've already stamped 2 lollipops. This is part of the stamp set, okay? The lollipops are part of the stamp set as well as the dies. And we need 2 trees. I know, thank goodness for those embezzlements. I tell ya, they work out well, don't they? All right. So here I am. I love the tree. I mean, I could cut out like 100 of those because it's just a super cute little tree. All right, so Granny Apple Green trees. And I'm trying to think. I think we're going to use a glue dot. All right. And I'm almost done with glue dots, so maybe I can finish up this roll of glue dots. And I'm going to put it right here towards the bottom of the tree. And then I'm going to tuck it. Remember how we didn't put tape in there? Let's tuck the tree in there. All right. And so we're going to put it just like that. Okay. And hopefully, you know what, that glue dot is not in the right place. Oh, maybe I'll do this. I'll put it on the house a little bit. There we go. So put your glue dot towards the bottom so it'll stick to the house. Thanks for sharing, Alice. I appreciate it. And another glue dot at the bottom of the tree. And we'll put that one here. All right, we want to be able to see the windows a little bit. All right, and the trees are kind of whimsical, don't you think? All right, so now I'm gonna pop up the lollipop. I just finished that last little dimensional there. And let's see, I will put it something like that. All right, or maybe I can move it out even more. I'll try that on the next one, see if that works. All right, mini dimensional. I'm trying to grab one, hang on. All right. And then I gotta try and take it off. The lollipop is as big as a tree, isn't it?